I want you to start being more ingenuous. Is that a word? I want you to be wiser about your photographs. In case you're not, I want you to think through, especially that first photo. Having a nice close-up shot is really important. The problem is sometimes we take photos of very long items or items much taller than wide or vice versa. And it's difficult to zoom in close. And yet the first photo should always show the entire item and everything you're selling. So there are some ways to trick it into being a little more close up. And I want you to start thinking about these things. So here is one way. I have this, I've had it for years, this trivet from Japan that was owned by my grandparents. They passed away in the 80s. So this thing is probably from the 1950s. I doubt the 40s. And it's made in Japan. So I suspect it's post-war Japan, which bolo, anything that is post-war Japan, like the 5, 10, 15, 45, even 20 years past the end of the war, Japan had to just completely revamp everything, and made in Japan was a big thing back then, both for good and bad. They made cheap stuff, but they had to get their economy back, and they made some nice things. So post-war Japan items are good bolos. If you ever find anything that old from 1948 or so to 1965 or so, then you can put post-war Japan, and if you search eBay for those 3 words, post-war Japan, then you'll find 1,000 or more items for sale right now. That is a key word to use in such title. So if you were to have something like this trivet, the problem is it's longer than wide. It's not square. It would be perfect if everything we sold had perfectly square dimensions, and then they would just fill up our photographs and we'd have nice close-ups and all of that. Now, this is probably not the best thing I could have shown you, because this is not a bad close-up for a picture. So I should have got something longer, like a long tripod or something, but you'll get the idea. So this is one way to take this photo, and it's perfectly legit. But there's a better way, and that is to angle it corner to corner. Take a photo of things that are long diagonally, like this. You get closer that way. I could have even gone a little bit more. There's a little bit of room here, a little bit of room here, and a little bit of room there. I could have zoomed in just a tad more, but this is pretty good. So the difference between this and this, you'll look at I realize it's hard because it's turned, but look at the size of the roosters. So this is the larger set of roosters. This is a smaller, only slightly, but it's significant. Now, so close-ups are important now. Your second and third and all the other photographs, if you can really zoom into things that you had to diagonal, like if you were selling a camera tripod or a baseball bat, you really need to zoom in on the baseball bat's label and handle and show its condition up close, the ends of the bat. So on that one, you would see a lot less detail, even if you go diagonal, but you're going to see more than if you do it left to right or straight up and down. And almost all of your competitors are going to be doing left to right, up and down. You want to take advantage of all of the square space that we are allowed to in a square. And then your photos after that, try to show close-ups. Close-ups sell items. They do. People feel like they know an item's actual condition is, the closer photographs you can show. That makes logical sense, but we often forget about that.